Okay, pilots, I'm going to try to install my FPV pilot from Just Enough RC. I got some two-sided tape on the back. I can't get to the pilot position from the bottom. There's no opening here to where I can get to it. So I'm going to have to go with two-sided tape. I really don't want to glue it in because I want to be able to take this thing back out, you know, maybe put it in another. So I've got the front seat took out in case it's too high with it in, or I'm going to put it back in if it's too low with it out. The first thing we got to do is take these wing struts off here. And what I've done, I found out what they was originally from because I remember now that I put screws in the Bigfoot. So I'm gonna see if I can get this thing out without tearing it up. Maybe this way. Well, I'll have to get a hold of it here, I guess. Yep, got to get a hold of it on the outside. Because it's tight. I mean, that ain't made for that, you know. But they went to the Bigfoot, so I ordered some more of the little lock pins for the Bigfoot struts to put on my Cub struts. So that it will be simple to take the wing on and off until I strip the screws out. Yes. That's the trick. Alright, that's gonna come loose. I didn't have one of them, I didn't have but two. That's the reason I had to order some more. And you know how it is, sometimes that little thing spring out and there it goes. It's somewhere in your room or somewhere out in the grass or if you was out the field. There it goes. Alright. I'm gonna flip it over here. I got to be careful, I got antennas on the wing too. Glued in. Try to make them last as long as I can. Alright, let's see here. Phillips head screwdriver, big Phillips head, well, not the big one, regular size Phillips head, not one of them little small dinky winky screws. Oh, come on, get off that antenna. Quit squealing, quit squealing. Paint, I've got to go right down through here maybe with my razor blade so I don't rip my paint out, because I'm sure that's kind of probably stuck right there. I told you. Okay, we got LED lights plugged into the receiver. Let's get them out first. I'm going to be changing this receiver out putting a Detrum 6-channel gyro receiver in. I trust them. Oh, come on now, what are you doing? What are you doing to me? There's my wing. I better put this over here. My wings glued together now. Alright, now we're going to put our seat in there. Not gluing it yet, but just putting it in there. Take a pilot with the 2-sided tape already applied. I hope it sticks to that material. Sometimes pallets, something is made out of some kind of a plastic or some kind of a oil-based plastic, and it won't nothing stick to it. Let's see if I can get him in there with this seat there. I might have to just set him in with the seat on him. Yep. That's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to, if I do use the seat, I'm going to have to stick him to the seat first and then glue the seat in. That way I can just grab a hold of him and rip him out if I need to. Yep. That looks like a good height for the head. Yep, I like that. I like it. His hands. Let's see here. Let's get that seat back in this hole. It's hard to maneuver. It's hard to maneuver. I might have to move that seat back some so his arms will go down. Yep, that's what I want to do. I'm going to have to move the seat back, so I'm going to have to cut that base off. And literally, I might glue it back into the square that's in the floor there and fill the square. So let me see here. Oop, don't do that. That will not do it. Gotta find a blade that's sharp enough to cut that right off. Okay. Now, when they glued that, they glued it to glue, glued to the paint. So, yeah, I mean, it's gonna stay there now. So I'm just gonna take my owl, my little 90-degree owl. I'm just gonna do a little roughing down here since I can't get a piece of sandpaper down there. This is gonna be wide. I'm gonna have to do a little touch up maybe. What I might do is just kind of make it look black back in there, make it look like his legs. Take a Sharpie before I glue this seat in. I'm gonna take a Sharpie here. Let's see. The Sharpie don't eat that foam up. I might layer it with the. I better put a layer of epoxy on it first before I put that Sharpie ink on it. Pilots, I hit the gold mine at Walmart the other day. They was the little peg there was just slam full of my glue. Oh God, I bought 20 of them. I got up to the counter. She said, "What are you using them for?" I said, "I use them to build my RC planes with, and it's very hard to come by. So when you come by it, you better get it all." No, I left about 6 containers. I'm bad, ain't I? I'm a bad boy. This one comes with 2 mixing tips and even more. It made it even bigger. I've got to use a mixing tip. I can't get down in there to it to just kind of spread it out. You try not to use those mixing tips unless you have to. Oh. Yeah, this is a little more of a project than usual when you're just putting a pilot in, but you know, you got other factors here. Ooh, right out there on it. Cover that raw. I know what I can do. I can take epoxy and make it look like legs. And just paint the top of the epoxy. There we go. Goodness gracious. Shut up, stomach. I've got 5 minutes to play. Oh. Let's see here, where it is. I'll stick this down there on my raw side, just to get a coating on it. Maybe on the hole. Don't go that way. Gotta put the square in the hole in the right way. Just getting a little bit of a coating on that one raw side there. Back into place, back into place. I'm kind of taking my tweezers and pulling the paint off of that foam that's kind of right behind that square. Cleaning that foam off. We'll see. I'm gonna put a coat of epoxy on it before my tip runs up here. Stomach again. My epoxy hips is looking good. Let me show you this. Come here and let me show you something. Let's see if I can get it in the light there. If you can see it back in there, I just kind of put a big, layer of epoxy there in the shape of legs. And when that hardens up, I'll take black Sharpie and paint them. See if you can see it in any direction here. I move it. I'm letting that set. And when I glue that seat to that raw epoxy there, it ain't gonna go nowhere. That whole area right there that I've put epoxy is gonna be holding that pallet in. So I don't think it's gonna go anywhere once I lay it down. I'm gonna give it just a few minutes. I'm wanting to go ahead and stick my pallet down. I'm wanting to not only, I still got adjustment, in gluing the seat in. But I want, I want clearance back here. And another thing I've got to do is I've got to put my extension on it, on the battery cable. And put a hole in it somewhere that goes into the battery compartment. And run this lead through it. So while that glue's drying, let's get this out of the way. There's one right there. I just use the hole that all the leads are going through. There's the battery lead. So all I've got to do is put it through that hole. Put the lead through that hole. I might even have to put another one on it. I'll put this other one on it just in case. I'll use it to pull it through. I've got 10 of them. And plus, Jude sent me 2 more. But, let's see here. This is where I got them. It's in China or Japan or somewhere, I don't know, pilots. But there's 10 of them little extensions in there. I'm gonna leave that hooked up because I don't want them wires flopping and flipping all over the place when I'm trying to do this. There's something else I can do before I stick it down. We'll put a wire harness on it. Because for right now, I'm going to wire harness it into my rudder. But I'm thinking about maybe later putting it in its own separate channel, since this plane doesn't have flaps and it doesn't have landing gear, so I got some extra channels to play with. And I can mix it into the ailerons and the rudder, maybe, to where it operates the head whenever I use the ailerons and whenever I use the rudder. Now this is going to be a trick. It's that new alligator clip wire harness I've picked up here. That's good. That's good stuff. One of these new new type clips they putting on. So, try not to push down on the head, just push down on the shoulders. Let's see, yeah. Take it that way. No, no, no. This one's not going to eject. I'm looking good right there. All right, now then. Let's take my 90-degree owl. Let's put some holes in this right here. Now, this pilot kind of sits in a cock because he's got his hand on the sticks here. You know, maybe his hand's on the throttle. Could be on a steering wheel type stick, I don't know. All right, let me see here. I bet my tip's hardened up, I'm sure. So I'm gonna just mix it up here. I'll use the container sometimes if the glue comes in. This ain't gonna take much here. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. Who let that elephant in here? Damn it, man. Let's see here. Move this break glue out. I'm trying to keep it towards the middle there a little bit, so in case it squeezes out too much area to give it a little bit to stick to. Always put them in later. I want to get them in a good position here. My wire is going to keep pulling him in and moving him. Let's see what we can do here. Got good clearance there, good clearance there. And his head's not going to be touching nothing. I'm going a little bit further forward. Okay. I feel good about this. Good height on the head. Looks like that camera's pointing dead center. Looks like the camera is dead center of the cockpit. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Now my receiver's gonna go where the back seat was. It's gonna be two-sided taped in. But I got to set all that up, pilots. I got to set it all up. And that's gonna take a while, and I don't really want this video to be 2 hours. But there you go, pilots. Thanks, Jude. You're the man. I'm out.